Hey, good to see you again. How you been?
John, is that the Palouse?
No, that's canola in
Where
black.
where is that? Where is that? That's a cool bridge.
That's the Ravenel Bridge in Charleston, South Carolina.
Wow. You know
Very
what a town, if you're into bridge photography, oh my gosh, Vancouver, Canada.
really.
Oh yeah.
They have a bunch.
Yeah, and they're all works of art. They're wonderful bridges.
Ah,
Yeah.
how about that? Okay.
So
So, somebody recently
I
said,
I
oh, go
oh
ahead.
but
We're so professional. Go
well
ahead.
you can edit this out. You can edit this out, right?
No, I don't want to edit this out. Remember, we said we don't want to have fancy backgrounds, props, any of those things.
Okay,
This
you
is
go
just
ahead.
real life.
Okay. I've had a couple of people write me say, you guys photograph all the time. You have the advantage, which I read as an excuse as to why my work's not better because I don't have as much time to photograph as you. Now, here's the god awful truth.
Yeah,
John and I really probably don't have any more time to photograph than you.
true.
When John's on a workshop, there's not a lot of personal time. There's a lot of, taking care of
Yeah.
people time.
Yep.
And me, I'm only out photographing when I go on trips. I've just not been able to photograph locally, even though I'm retired. I just don't photograph as much as you might believe.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, the more you photograph, that is a factor. But I'm thinking there's something even more important than the amount of time you spend photographing, and that's the amount of time you spend learning to see.
Yeah.
And learning to see can be done from wherever you're at, literally in your office, sitting in your chair. In fact, Edward Weston once said that when he was confined to a chair with Parkinson's, he ought to be able to look at his feet and find something to photograph.
Mm,
When we're driving, when we're anywhere,
hmm.
taking the opportunity to see and to think about what you're seeing. And I almost think that's more important than the practicing of photographing, the practicing of seeing.
Yeah, I think that's something that you're very good at, and I would say that I've learned too. I'm constantly paying attention. Gosh, I hate that the stuttering of the video for
Yeah.
whatever reason today.
I think the audio is okay.
Yeah, good. So but I'm constantly thinking as I'm driving of what a beautiful scene that is. Or oftentimes my family laughs at me because I'm going like this all the time, and you laugh at me too when I do it. But I really am. I'm trying to imagine, oh, the frame could be there, or just that piece of a scene. Or I'm commenting on the quality of the light or the shadow or the contrast. And to the point where my daughters will actually say, look at that, Dad, which makes me really happy to see that. But learning to see, I think about Freeman Patterson, and I use some of his language in one of my lectures called Learning to See More Deeply. And he talks about that. It's all of using all of your senses to learn to see more deeply, that it's not just your eyeballs, that it's all of your senses are involved in the act of seeing more deeply, getting rid of labels on things so you can see them for what else they might be other than a tree. For instance, we've said this before, a triangle, or a rock's an oval or a circle. Learning to see beyond what the actual literal thing is. You can be practicing that all the time without your camera in your hands.
When I'm doing that small project, kind of a side project, hotel rooms, where I'm trying to see something inside a hotel room. And I got to tell you, some of these bargain basement hotels I stay in, there's not much more in there besides a bed, a nightstand, a lamp. And
Yeah.
so the challenge of looking around that room and finding something, and it's often abstract,
Yep.
finding something, learning to see. And as Rick Rubin says, it doesn't have to be the greatest image you've ever created. It's the process of seeing and of creating.
Well, it's practice. And so that just leads me to have this question. Why is it we think that we can go buy a camera and with no practice at all be a great photographer? Yet we want to learn to play tennis, and we go take lessons and we practice, 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 practice. We get a musical instrument and we're required to practice a half hour a day. If you're going to have any ability to get any good, you got to practice your scales up and down so that you remember the notes. But we get a camera, we go out 4 times a year and we question why we're not growing as a photographer. It's silly. When you
Well, I think about the things they're starting to program into cameras. I remember when they came out with a camera that you could focus by putting your eye on the object through the viewfinder.
Oh, that's right.
Then there's the feature in an iPhone, I believe, where everybody has to be looking at the camera with their eyes open or it won't allow the shutter to go.
That's amazing.
There are probably features we're going to see with AI where imagine if they program in the rules of composition. And if I don't have this in the right position, it won't
It
allow the
won't.
shutter. So if we could program all the rules of composition into a camera, will that guarantee that we all create great images?
No.
We'll create good images and we'll
Yeah.
create better vacation images, but they won't be works of art. They won't be something personal because that comes from your ability to see.
Yeah. Yeah. And so folks practice seeing, practice, you don't need a camera. And I love what Cole said. I haven't photographed seriously since 4 weeks ago. I haven't had a camera. Well, I did for a short amount of time because I was, again, out in Minnesota. Somebody wanted me to do some photographs, but it wasn't planned. It was just spontaneous. But, the next series of photography is going to be in about 5 days when Cole and I finally get, rested and ready to go out and do our scouting in the Faroe Islands. And it's very enjoyable to do that, but we don't need to be there to do that. So.
Well, you should see the great images I got in Hawaii. Oh, that's right. I forgot
Yeah,
my
you
camera.
forgot your camera. I've forgotten a tripod. I've never forgotten a camera.
I brought the tripod.
No,
I just
come
didn't
on.
remember. Yes, I had the tripod.
I
Yeah.
did not know that.
I
And
told I
you know
we're
what, Cole?
idiots. We're
You are,
idiots.
not only are you an idiot, you're stupid. All right, folks, until the next time, thanks for following along.